And amidst a lot of speculations about Iran's supreme leader, this is the news that we are breaking for you at CNN News 18. Iran's supreme leader is set to speak soon after strikes in Iran. Ayatollah Khamenei is set to address the people of his country. This amidst a lot of speculation whether Israel has managed to take the supreme leader down. There were social media reports that showed visuals of Iran's supreme leader's compound, and post that the foreign minister of Iran also clarified that as far as his knowledge goes, the supreme leader of Iran is still alive. Sanjay Suri has been tracking all these developments, joining us live from Tel Aviv. Sanjay, the scene around you, Iran is trying to play the psychological war as well. Their supreme leader set to address very, very soon. But around you, what is it that you can report on?
Well, I've just come up from the shelter here, and there was a little party and a little celebration there, and in fact, more than a very loud celebration. They were saying that Khamenei has been hit, and they were circulating some of these social media reports that you referred to. We have no official confirmation of that, and there are indications, as you report, that the Iranian government may want to make its position clear. There can be no further clarity on that from the Iranian position of point of view than to have Khamenei addressing people live. We also have had a lot of addresses to the nation from a number of Iranian leaders, from Arakchi, the foreign minister, and from others, indicating that a number of Iranian leaders who certainly would have been targeted by the Israel and American attack are currently safe and well. We don't know for how long. But the successes certainly have not been as extreme for Israel and the US as they would have liked, unless the rumors about Khamenei prove true. That could be a game changer one way or the other. Also, we are seeing that a lot of Iranian missiles have been getting through to US bases, US targets, and these have been fortified and strengthened for a long time now. We've been hearing for weeks that the US is strengthening its positions, minimizing its staff there, taking protective measures. In spite of that, in spite of all that protection, a number of missiles have got through, and they've got through in Israel as well. So the game is not exactly entirely one-sided, and it's early days yet. It's the first day, it's early hours, one should say. And the fact is, the pattern is that in the June war of last year, it's as the fighting progressed that Iran began to unleash more and more of its more sophisticated missiles that then got through. And the early missiles fired were relatively crude, intended to draw down the repertoire of interceptor missiles. So the game plan may be similar, but we don't know whether that will work this time around, and whether the Israeli defenses and the US defenses will be stronger this time. Inevitably they will be. How much stronger? Will they be entirely effective? Far from clear, but it's not turning out to be exactly and entirely one-sided at the moment.
Sanjay, you mentioned celebration, and just as you were talking, I saw a young man just wave at the camera completely nonchalantly. So is it fair to presume that Netanyahu is riding on a wave of popular support, and even though some Iranian missiles have managed to break through the shield at US bases, specifically in Israel per se, in Tel Aviv per se, there's no fear or any kind of anxiety about what is happening?
Well, no fear and no anxiety, but my presence here and the presence of our friend who walked past is a bit unusual. The siren has sounded its warning, and just about everybody is underground, unless I think they're just beginning to come out. So once the siren sounds, people do go into the shelter as a matter of course. And Arunima, there is a curious reason for that. It's not about fear or individual response to what should or should not be done. This is a country, remember, with a very small population, but every single Jewish adult compulsorily by law has to undergo military training, and not just military training but military deployment. So every civilian we see around is a military person. Once there are orders and instructions from the government that come this warning, you have to go into a shelter, people do. It's almost like a military discipline. finding expression here. So people are following the rules, but certainly there's no sense of fear. There is, on the contrary, a sense of confidence that they will prevail. There is a degree of impatience that the results already have not been more dramatic than they have been. There is a bit of uncertainty around, some degree of apprehension without doubt. Tel Aviv was hit quite effectively and devastatingly by Iran in the war last year. There is a degree of apprehension, but by and large, really, people are quite confident that Israel and the US will finish the regime, finish the ballistic missile program of Iran and liberate the people of Iran. It may not turn out to be quite that simple despite the abundance of confidence here.
Sanjay Suri, thank you so much. Sanjay, they're reporting from Tel Aviv, keeping a close eye on the developments there. We'll cross live to him as soon as there is more update. We are expecting the Supreme Leader of Iran to address his countrymen shortly. And while we wait for that address, let me welcome my guests on the show.